All right, is this thing on? All right, family. So the first floatress we have coming to the stage is none other than Melanated Glow. Y'all give it up for Melanated Glow.
All my life I had to fight. I had to fight for my liver. I had to fight for my kidneys. I had to fight against a deliberate attack on my mental energy. I had to fight against the poisonous vaccines administered when just a baby. Now the world wants me to think that I'm crazy. Well, maybe I wouldn't be so angry if they kept it real from the beginning. Like if you eat this seedless shit, it will start killing your organs and arteries, giving you cancer, diabetes, and a host of illnesses. When we couple that with pure ignorance, they got us being the participants of our demise disguised as better living. But true living is organic living, so all we're hearing is lies, prompting us to buy the death that they prescribe to our people. Sprinkle a little chemical in the cereal. Add some bleach to the rice. Eat 20% animal protein to form a mutated gene. Now they impacted our lineage for life. We had war in the army that showed signs that they lost their fight, forcing the strong to have no choice but vibrate high. Who must shine light so the lost can gain sight and ignite the fire dimmed by the plight of our race. Instead of being on the chase after waterfalls we've never seen and giving energy to insignificant things, let's use the light to light the path that brings us back to self, the place where everything begins. We're fighting for an end to toxic living that's killing our chances of survival. The threat of extinction initiating a global revival. The evidence being arrival of our true selves. We must operate so that tribal thoughts prevail. Unified, connected communities of balance scales, where power so strong it rids the darkness with light. Globally igniting flames of power ridding the earth of darkness, forcing us to gain sight of our true purpose. Living this life like it's golden and like it's worth it. In this earthly existence to experience the fullness of this human experience. Giving ourselves permission to be ourselves. Loud, uninhibited, and free. Expressly living in duality. Ready for war if need be, especially if our spirits are in jeopardy. Staying grounded to Nita's frequencies. Giving homage to the gods, goddesses, and deities. Celebrating every connected step of our journeys. Escaping bondage, freeing our mental capabilities, so we can fulfill the purpose determined before we traveled across this galaxy. We are star beings, here to shine light. That's why in our lives we have no choice but to fight. Give thanks.
But we are only free to speak when our audience does not hear us. We are only free to speak when our audience is not interested. We are only free to speak when the audience really does not listen. Oh, I can sit here and call Reagan all kind of names and talk about white folk. That illustrates what a great system we have here. But how is this possible? To a good extent, it's possible because, you see, at first you induce the audience not to be what? Interested, not to care or to be apathetic, and then you just let the person speak as long as they want to. You induce the audience not to be active, and therefore knowing that after the speech is over, no real activity will take place, so you let them talk as much as they want to. So the system of slavery, you see, and Jim Crowism that occurred shortly thereafter structured the black personality in such a way that despite the Marcus Garveys and the Malcolm X's and other people, there's been relative little change because the reception often of the audiences was such that they would not threaten the United States after they heard the speech. We are only free in this country to do the wrong thing. Recognize what happened to Farrakhan. Farrakhan has been saying the same thing for 20 years. But to a good extent, when the whites actually thought that black people might really be listening to Farrakhan, might really act upon what Farrakhan was saying, he can't now get into Javits Center. Now he's having a hard time finding a place to speak and a platform to speak to black people. Is this the country of free speech, ladies and gentlemen? You better not believe it. There's no way.